I'm WTF, and this is Fired Up.
We're consulting with our allies and partners, and there will be responses if they choose to escalate. We will respond accordingly.
What the hell did you just say?
All right. I got a question for you. Over the last, say, few weeks, okay, what has been said about the shootings in Georgia? The guy doing it is a white supremacist. All right. Let's go over this. 6 of the 9 people killed, 6 of them were Asian. Okay. The other 3, one was a white person. I want to say 2 people white and 1 other Spanish. Okay. Now, if this guy was a complete white supremacist, he'd never have shot the 2 white people. Take it in. Think about that, okay? The whole time, all they're talking about is how this is a white supremacist. He's always after the Asian people. He was just after the Asian people. Let's just calm down. The guy that killed those people was a sick individual. What was his sickness? He was a sex addict. The places he went to, massage parlors. And these places, okay, were, I won't say notorious, but he had gotten special massages. You know, happy endings to these massages. And he hated himself for this. He was a sex addict. They talked to quite a few people about his addiction, his roommate, family members. They say he was a sick individual. Say he had problems. He hated the type of person he was. Problem is, these people, misfortune, right? The people he went after in these massage parlors fed into his addiction. Problem, yes, but still, they fed into his addiction. And he snapped one day. He just said, I can't live with this anymore. I gotta do something about it. What he did, completely, totally wrong. Don't get me wrong, it's horrible. But every day, this guy was called a white supremacist. He didn't give a shit what you look like. He's gonna kill you. If you were in his range, you're dead. Now, they planted it in everybody's head that he was a white supremacist. White supremacist, white supremacist. Hated Asians. No, not really. He just hated people that fed into his addiction. So, that's pretty much what it was, right? Now, let's go forward, okay, to the Boulder, Colorado. When the shooting started, there was a police officer was killed, and 9 other individuals were killed also. But when when it was over, they had a officer, I think it was 2 officers, walking him out of where he was. Had a blood coming from his leg, so they might have shot him in the leg. Funny thing is, when they showed that air footage of him coming out of there, they said, "Oh, another white supremacist." Whoa, was he wrong? Were they wrong? Right? So, what happens? What happens when they find out that the guy's Muslim and he's nuts? Nothing ever was talked about with the race. Then they went to the gun situation. Guns, bad news. Certain people, bad news, right? Fun fact, most of your killings, each and every single day, gang violence, whatever, most of these guns are bought illegally. They're stolen, whatever, what have you. None of them are, very, very few are from legal holders. Okay. Fun fact. This way it is. Look it up. Don't care. Figure it out, right? Look it up. You'll see it. But as soon as we figured out just what this guy looked like, he was Muslim, what happens? Like I said, completely and totally stopped with the race. Now, over the last week, you got D.L. Hughley here saying, why is it about his race? His race is irrelevant. Access to guns is a real problem. Now, 2 weeks before this happened, how much you want to bet he was talking about that white bastard that killed those people? I want to bet you right now, he was talking about white person this, cracker that, you name it, he was thinking it. Come on now. Everybody, whether they want to admit it or not, it's got a little racism, whether it's against their own people or others. You'll find yourself in a conversation and you'll say something like, well, it's not what it is, it's just what it is you said, right? Me personally, I hate everybody equally. I don't pick one race to another. I hate everybody equally. That's just who I am. I'm an equal opportunity offender. So, when these people say that if you're white, you're racist, that's wrong. I hate white people as much as I hate everybody else. That's just who I am. That's what I do. I can't help it. That's just the way it is. I just can't help it.
And he was pretty much fed up and kind of at the end of his rope, and yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
It's clear to me that this is a hate crime. Very easy to charge here, Whoopi. Georgia's hate crime statute is barely a year old. It was enacted after Ahmaud Arbery's murder, and it's based on the federal hate crime statute. This is textbook hate crime.
Yeah, of course. Hate crime. That's just what it is. Just a hate crime. Now, once everybody got the full understanding of this, and they still went with it, that's a problem. They're still pushing the narrative that this guy was a racist piece of shit, and he wanted to kill any Asian person he found. Problem is, like I said, killed 6 Asians. And that's because that's where they were working. They were working in these places, and also he killed 2 white person and 1 Spanish. So if he was, like I said, if he was just completely wanting to kill people that weren't his color, wouldn't have got the 2 white people. So obviously we take our most in-depth news from The View. I don't know about you, when I'm looking for my news, I'm going to The View. Now, you see it right here. You look at this tweet this chick had right here. It says right there, the Boulder, Colorado shooter. What does it say? The shooter was taken into custody. In other words, it was almost certainly a white man. Again, if he were black or brown, he would be dead. What did we learn, class? What did we learn about this gentleman that did this in Boulder, Colorado? He wasn't white. But as soon as we figured this out, they killed the race thing, and they went straight for the guns. So this should tell you right here. The news only wants certain things in the news. The people that report the news only want certain things. What is that certain thing? What is the hottest topic right now in America? How all, if not most, if not all, white people are racist. How is this still a thing? How? I don't get it. We got the blackest president we've ever had, Joe Biden. Ooh, yeah. No, he's not. He's not black. He's white. He's 100. And back in his Senate days, he hated black people. Now he loves them. You know why? Because he thinks they got him elected. Nope. Sorry, Joe. Black people didn't get you elected. The system with the Democratic Party got you appointed to the presidency. You weren't elected. You were appointed by the Democrats. That's what we're dealing with. And see, like I said, there's other people that did the same exact same thing. If it does not fit their narrative, this will not be on your TV screen. MSLSD, Communist News Network, you name it, ABC, CBS, all these news people are having one thing in common. They want to push one narrative, and that's white people or the devil. And the media is going along with it. You know why? Because it's profitable. If these guys would not give credence to half of the shit you see on TV, these guys wouldn't have all these things. This crap, if it wasn't on TV, if they weren't getting paid millions of dollars by the people that sign the checks for them, advertisers, you name it. If they weren't signing the checks over here, and these guys wouldn't have a job. And that's what we got to look at. We got to look at this. We got to figure out. That's why I'm here. That's why I started this. I'm tired. Completely tired of what you see every single day on my TV screen, on my computer, on my tablet, on my phone. I'm tired of seeing this. My daughter's going to grow up in an age now where people are going to tell her she's racist because she's a girl, because she's white. Okay, how about as white as you get? Red beard, you get the Irish in me, right? But the narrative is never going to change while we got Joe Biden as president. With the Congress, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I'll be back. We're going to talk some more about COVID-19.
I'm not sure I understand the connection of what you're saying about masks and reinfection. We're talking about people who have never been infected before.
You're telling everybody to wear a mask, whether they've had an infection or a vaccine. What I'm saying is they have immunity, and everybody agrees they have immunity. What studies do you have that people that have had the vaccine or have had the infection are spreading the infection? If we're not spreading the infection, isn't it just theater?
No, it's
If you
not.
had the vaccine and you're wearing 2 masks, isn't that theater?
No, that's not. Here we go again with the theater. Let's get down to the facts. Okay, the studies that you quote from Crotty and Sete look at in vitro examination of memory immunity, which in their paper they specifically say this does not necessarily pertain to the actual protection. It's in vitro.
And what studies can you point to that show significant reinfection? There are no studies that show
Just let
significant
me finish the response to your question, if you please. The other thing is that when you talk about reinfection and you don't keep in the concept of variants, that's an entirely different ballgame. That's a good reason for a mask. In the South African study conducted by J&J, they found that people who were infected with wild type and were exposed to the variant in South Africa, the 351, it was as if they had never been infected before. They had no protection. So when you talk about reinfection, you've got to make sure you're talking about wild type. I agree with you that you very likely would have protection from wild type for at least 6.
All right. So, you seen that, right? There isn't any test that I'm aware of, or anybody with any common sense knows that there is absolutely no statistics, no data that shows that you have, if you've gotten the vaccine or if you've had it, there's nothing that says you have to wear a mask. If you've had the vaccine and within 25 days, I believe, the first one, and I believe another 10 days into the second one, if you get the second one, Johnson & Johnson's 1 shot, but the other 2 are 2 shots. Now, if you get those 2 shots from Moderna and Pfizer, if you get the 2 shots, then everything goes back to normal. we got a good amount of people already that's already had it or has got the vaccine. So at some point, we have to go back to normal. But Dr. Fauci, Dr. Fauci, Dr. whoever the hell, he doesn't want that. Joe Biden does not want that. Joe Biden wants everybody still to be locked down. He wants everybody to wear a mask, even though everybody does not have to wear one. He still wants everybody to. And you gotta wonder why. Why is that? Why would they do that? That's because they have ulterior motives. It's not to save people. They couldn't care less about the people. Because if they cared less, if they cared any more about the people here in America, in the U.S., they would not be letting people in the droves, by droves, into America that have COVID or have not been tested. These guys, the kids, a lot of kids, all right, some adults, most of them are kids, but you really can't tell if they're really kids. In the Spanish culture, there's a good amount of people that do not look their age. That's just the way it is, all right? All right. Now, if the guys that are coming over from over the border, which is nuts, right? You got these guys coming over from the border, kids, women, children, men, mostly young men, and some young women, right? If you see this, they're coming over, they're not getting vaccinated. If they do if they do test them and they go positive, nothing happens. They just, all right, off you go. No big deal. But in America, here, if you are a born natural citizen in America, you have to wear a mask regardless. But the Spanish, the people coming from the borders, you get people coming over the Mexican border all the way as far as Somalia and different countries. They're not coming strictly just from Mexico. They're coming from everywhere because they know that they will be let in within 3 days, 72 hours. Families probably less than that. They know this is going to happen, but there's nothing anybody can do about it except complain. And if you complain that people are coming over here from different countries and can do whatever the hell they want with no repercussions, none, not a bit. If you say that, then you are racist. It's just the way they think. That's how they think. Me personally, I find it pretty much insulting saying to people that are from America that have a problem with people coming from different countries here. They don't have to wear a mask and don't have to get any of that stuff. They can come and go as they please. That should piss you off. Pisses me off. It should piss you off. Because right now, Americans, people that are complete Americans, whether you've been here your whole life and you have your citizenship, right? These people are not worth crap. Only people that matter now, since Joe Biden has taken office, is foreign people. Case in point, San Diego, California. Teachers are going back to school in person. They're like, yes, we're going back to school. There's a catch. Only 4 kids from another country. Meanwhile, your kid who is from here, has lived here their whole life, going to school, those kids have to stay at home. But we're allowing kids that are not from this country here to be taught in person, while kids that are from here have to be on a computer, and they're losing their understanding of their education by the day. They can't go back to school. They don't know what to do. Problem is, their government is letting them down, and they want to put that on the Americans, the white Americans, because we're pointing out you can't do this for another country Let them do what they want. Then tell us wear the mask. That's what America, that's what Joe Biden's America is all about. Rules for thee, but never for me or migrants. Migrants do whatever they want. Americans do whatever they're told. And let me tell you something. It's not going to work. It's not going to work very long. And if you ask about anything on the border, you're racist, right? So that's crazy. I'm going to leave it here. This is how I'm going to end it, all right? I want you guys to think about this. I want you to think long and hard. What is it that you believe is better for here? People that are from here getting everything that they are entitled to? Or people that are not from this country that get more than you do, and they're not from here? Think about this. Think about it. I want you guys to think about that. I mean, it pisses me off. Should piss you off. We gotta wonder why. Common sense, that's why. You can't do things for other countries and forget about your people.
I want to say, what about the surge? First of all, just gut check, stop. Anyone who's using the term surge around you consciously is trying to invoke a militaristic frame. This is not a surge. These are children, and they are not insurgents, and we are not being invaded.
Well, all right, that is it for this episode of Fired Up. I enjoyed bringing this to you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to, you can always head over to patreon.com at WTFTV. Help support the channel that way. Helps expand this deal. We're viewer funded, solely viewer funded. No sponsors. No people say, here, do this and we'll give you this kind of money. Nope. We don't do that way. What we do is we keep everything down the middle. We don't go left. We don't go right. We go common sense. If you guys have any ideas, anything you want to say, comment down below. Share this video. Please share this video. This gets us out there, helps people with like-minded understandings, common sense things. That's what we're doing here. That's what I enjoy. That's what I'm going to keep bringing you. If you got, like I said, share this video if you want to. Help us out at patreon.com. WTF helps the channel grow. Man, it's been a good one. I hope you guys enjoy the very, very nice weekend. I'm seeing for Easter here in Wisconsin, it's going to be in the 60s. That's the best one I've seen so far in 10 years of being here. Go ahead and enjoy it. So, like I said, have a very good Easter. Catch you next time.